Okay, so this is my overview of the Christian Thibodeau 915 program. So to start, he wants you to structure this into a 9-week program. He's basically saying in 9 weeks you'll gain 15% more muscle and be stronger in all of your lifts. So he basically sets it up week 1 through 3, you're doing 2 assistance exercises on top of your strong exercise and your explosive exercise. Week 4 through 6, you're doing 1 assistance exercise on top of your strong exercise and 1 heavier movement to become more acclimated to the heavier movements. Week 7 through 8, you're doing 1 assistance exercise and 1 heavy exercise, the same as week 4 through 6, but the reps and percentages have increased as you move forward. And then week 9 is your peak week, so you're trying to check for new 1 rep maxes in that area. So to start off with, week 1 through 3, you're going to be working at 80% of your 1 rep maximum. So you'll calculate that into every one of your lifts. You're going to bench press heavy for 5 sets of 4 repetitions on your first week, with your 2 assistance exercises working at 5 sets of 5 reps. So for example, your first assistance exercise would be something like a wide grip bench press at, let's say, 260 pounds. And then your second exercise might be a tricep extension. Something nice and light and easy that you can work for another 5 sets of 5 repetitions. Then an explosive squat exercise, which will be done at 5 sets of 2 repetitions, still working somewhere around 75-80% of your 1 rep maximum. Your deadlifts on your heavy days are going to be done at 5 sets of 4 repetitions, and your 2 assistance exercises will be 5 sets of 5 repetitions. Your deadlift exercises will be something simple like the snatch grip from the floor for your first assistance exercise and lying leg curls for your second assistance exercise. You can substitute these out and of course work on the areas that you're your weakest. You might find that you want to work on things like block pulls, reverse band, accommodating resistance, bent over rows if you're having a little trouble getting back activation from the floor. And then we move on to day 4. We're going to work on heavy squat exercises. You're going to do a 5 sets of 4 repetitions for your heavy squat, estimating 80% of your 1 rep maximum. Then you're going to move into your 2 squat assistance exercises, which you may choose to do things like a tempoed squat and a leg extension. And then finally moving into your explosive bench press for 4 sets of 8 repetitions. Day 5 is off. Day 6 is power cleans or high pulls, 2 explosive pull exercises, followed by 1 assistance exercise. I like to do something like an overhead press for a 5x5 when it comes to day 6. Day 7 is weak point training. What are the things that you want to focus on? Maybe bicep curls, tricep extensions, abduction walkouts, internal external rotations, or just some general physical preparedness, sled pushes, sled pulls, farmer's carries, yoke, whatever you're into on day 7. This is a great day to throw that in and put in a little bit of assistance work. Now once we move away from week 1, we move into week 2. All of your rep ranges are going to go up. So we're going to move from 5 sets of 4 to now 5 sets of 5 on every one of your large lifts. So 5 sets of 5, 5 sets of 5, and 5 sets of 5, all the way through, including now on your high pulls and overhead presses, you're now doing 3 sets of 5, which is going to change your explosive day. Now we move on to week 3, moving into week 4 to 6. So week 4 to 6 becomes different because now we're working at 90%. So we're moving out of our 80% 1 rep maximum and we're moving to 90% of your 1 RM. And that's going to be the basis for your entire program. Your set and rep range has completely altered. So now you're working at 3 sets of 2 repetitions on your heavy bench press. Now you're moving into something that is one assistance exercise and one heavier exercise for your bench press work. So you're going to go to an assistance exercise like a paused bench press, and you're going to do a 5 sets of 3 reps on your paused bench press. Then your second exercise is supposed to be heavier than your first exercise. So doing something like a slingshot or a reverse band bench press, which again you're going to do 5 sets of 3 repetitions. Now moving on to your explosive squats, which should be at 5 sets of 2 repetitions. Now you're moving into day 2. Day 2 is going to be 3 sets of 2 reps at 90%, followed by 5 sets of 3 reps working on your 2 assistance exercises. So your first one might be a snatch grip deadlift, and your third one, your second assistance exercise, which is going to be heavier than your first assistance exercise, is going to be something like maybe block pulls or reverse banded deadlifts. Day 3 is off, which is a rest day, and you could put these in any order. You could go day 1, day 2 is off, day 3, day 4 is off, day 5, and then do your explosive work on your second to last day, and your last day is your weak point training. Now you're moving into your squat day. So your squat day is going to look like you're working 3 sets of 2 repetitions, 5 sets of 3 repetitions, and 5 sets of 2 repetitions. Your first squat exercise might be something like a pause squat. So let's say your first squat, you're doing 405 pounds, and that's your 90% of your 1 rep max. Your second squat exercise, which you're doing 5 sets of 3 repetitions, let's say you're doing 355. And then your second squat assistance exercise might be something like a reverse banded squat. So now we're going to squat heavier than what we did on your initial movement. So let's say you're going to do 435 pounds on your reverse banded squat, which will be your second assistance exercise. And then finally move on to explosive bench press, where instead of going into a pause bench, it's touch and go. Week 5 again is another increase. You're going to 3 by 3 as well. Your explosive day is going up in repetitions, so you're doing a 5 by 6 and moving up to a 5 by 4. So now we're at week 6. You've done week 4, you've done week 5, now week 6. Now you're changing it and you're going to 95% of your 1 rep max. So once we get to week 6, we're keeping all the same set and rep ranges as we did on week 5, but we're going to be doing it at 95%. So you just plug in those numbers and you're increasing all of those weights all the way through your movements. Now we're at week 7. On week 7, what we're going to start focusing on is doing 100% of your 1 rep max. On your bench days, you're going to go 3 sets of 2 repetitions at 100% of your 1 RM. Your bench assistance work will stay the same, 5 sets of 3 reps. Your explosive work stays the same. Your deadlift stays the same, but you're changing now up to 100% 1 RM and 3 sets of 2 repetitions. Your deadlift assistance work, again, is 2 different exercises, 5 by 3. Everything, for the most part, stays the same except for the fact that your heavy days are all going to be 3 sets of 2 repetitions at 100% of your 1 rep max. Now, you might be wondering, how can it increase from this? Well, it does. Week 8, you're going up to 105% of your previous 1 rep max that you started on week 1. So you're staying the same. All these schematics stay exactly the same. You're just now plugging in and moving to 105% of your 1 rep max. Now, we finally reached week 9. So everything else is gone. On peak week, you're testing out. You want to see exactly what you're capable of doing. Day 1, we're going to squat 95% for 2 sets of your 1 rep max. You're going to bench 95% for 2 sets of your 1 rep max. We're going to deadlift 95% for 2 by 1, and we're going to power clean 95% for 2 by 1. Day 4, we're going to work at 105%, then we're going to move up to 110%, and then finally 115%. And you're going to do your 1 rep maxes on each one of these lifts all the way through on day 4. Then we're going to use day 5. Again, the exact same thing, 105, 110, 115, and then again on day 7, 105, 110, 115, which is the entire idea, is to be able to hit a 15% increase on all of your lifts within 9 weeks. So far, I'm 6 weeks in and I've seen a massive difference in my numbers. So I can personally say this program works. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you soon.